Alright, so the Authority couldn't be madder at us. Triple H is tweaking the fuck out over here. Look at him with those veins coursing through the game. But he said, well, don't have to worry about him right now. We'll crush some people. We'll take care of some business. We'll get this done. So, tonight we're gonna have the dramatic conclusion to the me bitching about my ankle story. So if you recall, the past couple weeks I've been complaining about how I hurt my ankle foot somehow at my grandmother's house. And I've been hobbling around like an old person, couldn't fix it, all this good stuff. So yesterday at work, it swolled up. And I started freaking out at work, and my nice co-workers all said to go to the ER and get an x-ray. But as a follow-up to that, they all started telling me what they thought was wrong with my ankle. Some people said I had the gout, which is almost impossible because I have a very low sugar diet, and I'm pretty sure you have to have like a lot of sugar to get the gout, or sugar triggers the gout, or something along those lines. If that's not true, whatever, I'm not going to double check. Some of them told me I had ankle snakes, which is as terrifying as it sounds. They were under the impression that somehow a snake got into my ankle, laid baby snakes, and now they're ripping around inside of my body. Out of the options I was given, that was definitely one of the more terrifying ones. And thirdly, I was told that I have tissue paper ankles to match my tissue paper hands, and that it's just going to tear right through it with the x-ray beams, and I have to get my ankle/foot cut completely off. So I was a little amped up the rest of the day at work because when I started putting these thoughts in my head of getting a footiotomy, I was not very thrilled. I was actually genuinely concerned a little bit that I might actually lose my foot, trying to figure out what a footless life would be. I know people do it, so it's not. I promise it's not an insult, it's just a fear that crossed my mind. So the rest of the day at work, I debated going and not going. By the time I got home, I decided I wasn't going to go. And then a little later after that, I was like, fuck it, I'll go. Everyone at work told me I should go. I should try to start being an adult. That's what everyone tries to teach me at work. Be more of an adult! Be more of an adult! It's ridiculous. But, I was like, okay, fuck it. I'll go to one of the emergency centers, which I think most cities probably have now. If you don't know what it is, it's not an ER, but it's close enough. It's basically a doctor's office that you pay your normal doctor rate with your insurance and not like an ER visit, but it's ER-like services. So I didn't have to wait for I think I counted a special right there. So for example, I didn't have to, my plan was to get x-rays of my ankle, basically. So, with my plan of going to the emergency center, I wouldn't have to worry about, making a doctor's appointment going to the ER for x-rays. I could just do it there. Fuck you!
Oh my, someone's getting a taste of their own finishing moves.
Yeah, Brock. Does his feet count for touching the ropes?
I can't breathe. This is such a painful hold.
Let me focus on this real quick, and then we will continue with the epic tale.
Has going for him is that he doesn't ever seem to get tired.
There we go.
I mean, the man has
fuck you, Brock. Tap out. I'm better than the Undertaker. So eventually I was like, I should really go. I want to know something's wrong with me. If I broke my foot or my ankle, I should really know and start taking some sort of maintenance care of what was going on with it. Because obviously losing a foot or an ankle or limping for the past month wasn't really great.
Please join me.
In case I never said specifically how I heard it. I heard it by my gram and my uncle were joking around and fake arguing. So I stomped my foot on the floor, and immediately after stomping my foot on my floor, pain shot up through my foot and through my ankle. So I probably pinched the nerve. I'm not sure.
So to him, I say, good luck.
That's what I thought back then, at least. And I was like, I think I broke my foot. Everyone said if you broke your foot, you wouldn't be walking around and laughing, having a good time. You would definitely be screaming like a girl, which is probably true. So I decided, that's it. You know, fuck it. We're going to go to the emergency center. So I went to the one closest to my house. I filled out all my paperwork ahead of time. I was like, I'm going to be responsible. I don't want to feel like waiting here forever. I'm going to get in. I'm going to get out. We'll be done with it. No bueno. We'll just get it over with. So we go. I say, hi, you know, here's my paperwork. Here's my ID and my insurance card.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the girl was like, oh, so... Get him, Jericho. Oh, so what's wrong? And I was like, oh, I've had pain in my ankle. 1, 2, 3. Nah, never mind. We don't want to watch it then. We were like, oh, so she's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? I was like, oh, I've been hurt my foot about a month ago. I've been limping ever since. I'd like to have it looked at. She looks at my insurance card and goes, oh, we don't take your insurance. Sorry. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, if I pay cash, how much is it going to cost here? And she's like, $125. Plus, if you have to get x-rays, that will be more as well. At that point, I was like, okay, bye. And I just kind of walked out. And I got pissed. I went through the range of emotions, the gamut. And I thought to myself, I want to go home now. Fuck this. I'm not going to get checked out. And then I started driving home. And I was like, you know what? I'll go to a different emergency center. Because we have like 5 or 6 in a, let's say, 10-mile radius of where I live. So I know a bunch of them around here get real shitty reviews. So I went on Google, and I was like, hey, this place has like 4.5 stars for being an awesome emergency place. So I was like, cool, we'll go to this one instead. Fuck it. I'll try one more place tonight. So I drive out there. I use this cool little touchscreen thing to check in, and the receptionist lady walks up, and she's like, hey, I'll get you checked in a second, or registered, whatever word she used. And I was like, wait. Before you go walk away, I was like, can you tell me if you take this insurance card? Because I didn't want to waste her time or my time, or if I was going to get fired up, that was the best time to do it. And she was like, oh, yeah, no worries, we take this. So a couple minutes go by, she calls me back to register, go through all the questions, and she was like, so what happened? And I said, I hurt my foot about a month ago, I've been limping ever since. I want to know if I broke it or not, I want to see what's going on. And she was like, okay, well, how do you think you did that? And I said, screwing around at my grandmother's house. So she smiled and looked at me, and she was like, screw around at your grandmother's house? And I was like, yep, that's how I got hurt. So I told her the story, she laughed, and then I noticed on my medical chart, for the reason of my visit, she just put, injured self screwing around at grandmother's house. Oh, like that. That's what happened. That's what my gram did to me. She suplexed me through the turnbuckle, and it was just bad news. But, you know, she was very nice. She took my work information. I went back. The first nurse took my blood pressure. She's like, it's very high. I said, it's always high. I don't do well at doctors. She was like, okay. So she took it like 3 times. It will lower a little lower every time. But it never actually went down. She was concerned. I said, don't worry about it. I think the highest was like 160 over 120, which if you don't know blood pressure stuff, that is pretty high. But it's irrelevant. So she said, how'd you hurt your foot? And I said, I was screwing around my grandmother's house. I stomped my foot on the ground. I was trying to cause a scene, and I hurt myself. So she laughed. And then she was like, okay, the x-ray technician will be back any minute. You can look at your foot for you. X-ray tech takes me back. She says, what happened to your foot? I said, screwing around my grandma's house, blah, blah, blah. And I basically told 4 different doctor-ish people that night that I have a strange sense of humor and that I hurt myself at my grandmother's house. So eventually the doctor comes in and goes, hey, so, his version's way cooler than what I'm doing now. Oh, so doctor comes in, he makes a joke about, oh, if you're a server engineer, what are you serving me? And I just was like, ha, like nicely laughing along with a stupid joke. And he's like, oh, I know it's a bad joke, we gotta make jokes. I was like, no, it's fine. I was like, if you wanted me to bring you dinner, you should have told me. And he's laughing. It's some old guy, he was having a good time. So he was like, what do you think happened? And I said, I have no idea. I told him what happened. I said, if I had to guess, I would assume that I either pinched a nerve or broke my foot, but I have no clue. I'm not a doctor. He said, well, a lot of people Google it, and they're usually right, or they get close to being right. So if you have an idea, I'm seriously game to hear what you have to say. And I was like, I really don't know. So he starts like tweaking my foot around, bending it, all sorts of stuff. And after walking around all day and limping heavily at one point, it kind of stretched my ankle out enough where it didn't hurt anymore. So he was like, does any of this hurt? And I was like, no, because I would tell you immediately if you hurt me. And he was like, oh, because most people wouldn't say anything. And I was like, oh, no, don't worry. I was like, if you bend my ankle and it hurts really bad, you will surely hear about it. So he looks at my x-ray. He's like, I see absolutely nothing wrong with your foot. And if you've ever seen an x-ray of a human foot before, or if you've never seen one, I recommend going to look at one. Because they're really weird looking. And I was like, are you sure my foot's not fucked up? I say fucked up. But if I curse in the story, just put a normal word in there instead. But I was like, are you sure my foot's not screwed up? Because if you look between where your big toe is and your first toe starts, there's like a giant, it looks like a crack in that bone right there. And I thought I like shattered my foot. And he was like, no, I don't see anything wrong with it. There's no fractures. There's no marks that I even remotely think that something might have happened. He's like, I really don't know what you did, but he's like, I don't know. He's like, what do you want to do about it? And I said, I don't know. I really only came to make sure I didn't break it. If I didn't break it, I guess we're okay. So he kind of talked to me about it for a little bit. And he was like, are you in pain? And I said, well, it depends. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. He's like, do you want pain pills? I said, no, thank you. It doesn't hurt enough to warrant me wanting to get some sort of probably overpowered drug for my goofy foot problem. But the coolest part of all this is when I broke my foot, or broke my toe, about 10 years ago at this point. When I broke that, I had to look at a normal x-ray, and the doctor he was like, oh, I don't see anything wrong with it, I don't see this. And now that I think of that, my toe must have healed because that's the foot I broke it on, and the doctor didn't see that at all. So I must have like Superman Wolverine bones that just heal up like champs. But anyway, so he's like, here, look at the picture, check this out. And he's showing me my foot on the computer. He's zooming in, zooming out, and it's way cooler than 10 years ago. Like, I'm legitimately pumped about. I mean, I'm never in a doctor's office. I don't know what medical technology, I guess we'll call it. But my foot X-ray was like 1080p. Oh shit! I don't do that.
Ziggler versus Bryan, 60-minute Iron Man match.
Stop picking it up.
I often say we have the best seat in the house, but if Ziggler's match.
But so he shows me my foot, and it's like super awesome HD. You can zoom in extremely far. It doesn't blur the picture or anything bad happens to it. It was just really cool to me. So I'm glad that it's one of those things where I overthink life. Then and I'm like, in another 10 years, then what technology is gonna have? That's really interesting to me. Since when does Ziggler's? When does Dolph Ziggler do this?
Man, oh man, why would they do that? No, submission.
But it was cool. I was really pumped about technology and like medical stuff. I wasn't as nervous as I used to be. And I'm interested to see where all that stuff goes in the future now. Like in 10 years, am I not going to even have to like do any sort of medical stuff? They just take a full body scan. They're like, your heart looks jacked up, your right hand looks broken, your left ankle is shattered, just all sorts of stuff like that. Or it'll all be interesting. It'll all be interesting. Oh, but so the final conclusion is he doesn't know what's wrong, which usually happens to me at doctors. He's like, you might have did something I don't know. So he's like, if you want the pain stuff, you can have it. If not, try to stay off it as much as possible. There's not much you can do because I don't see anything. And I said, fair enough. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't broken. That's fine. And it isn't really fine. I don't like the whole not knowing what's wrong with me thing. As a general life statement, really bugs the shit out of me. But I know for some things you can't help it. I mean, I can't keep pushing him because he didn't. With all the information he was given, he did what he could do. Can't fault him for that. It wouldn't be nice. It'd be rude. I'm not rude. I'm a nice boy. But yeah, so the ankle adventure's over. It's still there. Oh, that's why I said no so far. So, like I said, all my coworkers all gave me fake diagnoses just to screw with me. So when the doctor asked me what was wrong, I said, I'm not really sure. I said, but my coworkers told me ankle snakes, my foot's coming off, and the gout. And he was like, your coworkers are very mean to you. And I was like, I know. I was like, but that's what we do there, so it's kind of okay. But they were mean to me. They're trying to freak me out. But it was funny because after he checked out what was going on with me. The way he worded that when I was like, I might have the gout. He worded the you don't have the gout statement like it was crazier than you have ankle snakes. I don't know if he was really paying attention to what I said, but it was fucking ridiculous and it was awesome. So that's my awesome doctor story then. Always, like I always say, I do stuff to try to get stories out of it, which is the reason I kept telling everybody that I hurt myself at my Graham's house and all that from screwing around. And I have to tell a doctor that my coworkers are jerks, and he thought it was funny. And thought that every old medical diagnosis was more ridiculous than ankle snakes.
If an opponent can keep the big guy down on the mat, off his feet, then they could theoretically have a chance at winning the match, or at least surviving. Ryback is just... And
now that we can talk about wrestling for a minute here, nothing interesting happened in this little series here. Nothing of big use. And if you... big use isn't even a word. The hell's wrong with me? And as of this video, I believe this is lucky number 40. I'm going to start doing this game every other day instead of every day. There's not always stuff to talk about, and if I'm going to talk about wrestling more during this, it's a little easier to change the timing of when these videos come out. It also helps me with playing other games too, because this series probably can go forever. I would say at this point it'd probably be like 70-80 parts minimum. And no one wants to just only watch this. I want to try to play more games, share with everybody. Everyone loves seeing new stuff. So this will begin the new every other day treatment of wrestling. And there will be other new games coming out to go along with this instead. Like we started playing The Park the other day, which is, I expected Scooby-Doo shenanigans, and there are not Scooby-Doo shenanigans in there. It is spooky feel horrible time. That's not a good way to feel. I played it the night before bed, and I went to bed miserable and like disgusted with myself.
Few superstars are as dominant as this guy.
Look at that four-hit combo. You got Poop Lord.
Oh, out of nowhere. Well, let me tell you, when you talk about brute power, brute force, Ryback lifting up the nearly... Here's the cover.
Get out of here with that shit. He's getting suplexed out of the ring, just so everybody knows. We're calling it now. You can cheap shot me head all you want to, you big fuck.
These superstars,
you big stinky bastard.
Right,
I'm just dumb as hell.
It's so important in a match like this. Oh, wait, nice reversal.
Watch this. Put him in the corner. Okay, so I think I got rid of that. Give him a DQ Blizzard right there.
If there's one place you don't want to get pummeled, it's your face.
No kidding. Whew, that's hurting me. Oh, out of nowhere.
I think this whole no stamina thing is why I get countered a lot towards the end of these matches.
Ryback is a snarling beast.
It looks like it. Team Rocket's on the ground. Just blasting off again.
And opponents start to break. Ryback is a physical freak of nature.
Shut up.
Whenever he gets the opportunity to
sound like a nerd.
Looking for the win.
That open hand slap. Which way are we going this time? Oh, towards the commentators. If he puts him through the commentators, he'll be fucking awesome.
I'll be shocked if that's not it. Well,
right in front. It's close enough. Leave the inflate pad. See, that's stupid. I would think with, like, no stamina, low health, that should have, like... I should have gone up slow, too. That would have been cooler. Asshole game.
Jerry, you mentioned Ryback's Ryback's propensity for destruction, and I think everyone will agree with
This should wrap it up with a nice little bow.
Ryback's movements, witnessing his amazing
Now watch.
strength and seeing how he
1,
ruins
2,
opponents.
3,
It's difficult
4,
to think of
5.
anyone in WWE that can
1,
stop him.
2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, look at that! See, it cheats. I said the other day too. It cheats when it gets to 8. It slows down for no reason to help the game not get counted out, and that's horseshit. If I just fucking completely destroyed him, and the game's like, oh, it doesn't matter. Not good enough.
This match has been 100 miles per hour since the opening bell.
Oh, and I don't see any slowing down in the future. This is a great matchup. I'm loving it.
Get in here. But now no one knows I'm crazy. I mean, it is a little weird I sat here and did the timing count out loud, but I was right. It just proves that I'm right.
Such a great athlete, such an important superstar.
And here we go. Get ready.
Look out below. Look out. Oh, what's he going to do to follow that up?
Yeah!
Connects like a train wreck. He could pin his opponent right here.
I think this is it.
Fuck that!
Call your friends, let them know what's going on right now in this awesome match.
Let them know. Womp womp. Let them know. Let them know.
Complete domination here.
That's it. He's done. All these power moves tonight are making bigger and bigger impacts.
Look at this. He's using his opponent's taunt against them.
Man, he's trying to rile everyone up. Uh-oh. Look at this.
Yeah! Stomp around. Let that blood leak out.
I don't believe it. He just stole his opponent's finishing move.
That takes a lot of nerve, Cole.
I bet that should be the end of it, right?
And he goes for the cover.
This is it. 2, 3.
Thank you.
Winner, ladies and gentlemen.
Wraps up a neat little package. Next time we will talk about Payback on Sunday. Thanks everybody for watching. Lights.